Professor Corey, this is Dan Triplet. How are you? This has been an insane week as far as learning Houdini. These tutorials that I am working from are done by a guy who's like super high end in the VFX realm, and man, I thought they were supposed to be beginners. If this is beginner stuff, man, I'll tell you. Can't imagine what the advanced stuff's going to look like. So basically what I built was a multi-scatter tool. What it can do is basically scatter multiple objects across different, whatever kind of geo input you give it, even a volume input. So let me just give some examples here. Right now, it's actually a tool, just to say that. It's not just like something you can use once. It's something you can pull in any time you need to, like, let's say you need a bunch of trees on a terrain or something like that. So if I switch this to geo, and go like that, and you can see here I have some primitive geo plugged in, and they're random at this point. It's just like randomly generating different instances of it, and you can see that the sizes are different too. So this is the actual, like, all the tools kind of housed inside of this right here. So here's all the nodes that plug into it, and you have to basically so another thing I'm learning about Houdini is you basically, like, attributes that would normally be in Maya or 3D Max or something like that that are normally on meshes, a lot of times you make that yourself in Houdini. Like, you basically plug that all in so that if you don't need something, it's not there, and if you need it, it's there. It seems it seems more complicated that way. In a sense it is, but at the same time it's also optimized. So if you need, to have a bazillion things running in your viewport, and you don't want, you only need certain attributes for those things, it'll run faster. I guess that's a good way to put it. So here, let me just show how the tool works. Like right now, I have this going into geometry, and this is just on a plane at this point. I can make it points too. I can just have like a point output or geometry output. Right now it's on volume and grid, so let me go ahead and change this to surface. So here's one on surface. Now what's changed here is that for the surface one, so right now it has 1,000 points. You can increase this, or not. There we go. What did I? Oh, because I have the max points. Sorry. So if I crank the max points up, ooh, that's going to get ridiculous. Let's not do it that high. So let me just go like this. So you can see you can just keep building up, or you can go like a lot lower, whatever you need. You can change the global seed like so. Let's see, relax iteration. So if you want to just kind of relax their distribution, you can mess with that. And then there's different, relax algorithms. And so basically, like, I make this interface. Houdini has a really cool like interface creation tool. So I basically just open up the types property, and I go into parameters here, and I can just pull any of these things in here and link them to different settings inside the nodes. So that's basically how I'm making all this stuff happen. And I even got stuff where I can output attributes that I won't really need right now. But so here's the thing: you can change the scale. Let's just show you more what this can do. Minimum scale, go really small. Change the seed in here. You've got non-uniform scale, so if I want to make it wide, long, tall type of thing, I can go ahead and do that. And you can see how this could be very helpful if you're like, let's say I'm scattering grass on a surface or something, and I don't want to do it all by hand. I can just kind of do it this way. Plus, I can actually plug in paint nodes, and I can paint it, like hand paint where I want it to be too. I can use texture, which is actually what I'm doing right now. That's where you're getting this color from. And the color attribute, I'm getting it from this texture. I could add another texture to it, but let me go ahead and just delete that. So now you can see that without the texture, it's not getting that. But I can also go in here and start dialing in random color. Of course, it's going. I'm actually dialing it at like super high levels. So let me lower. There we go. So you can add different colors to your texture or to your trees. You can add like different tints, and of course I can go in and do this by hand. And of course I can use the map too to add in stuff. And then this is rotations, so I can go ahead and do all kinds of different random rotations and play around with that. Okay, so this is all just a grid, but so if I come up here, I have a switch, I can put any kind of geo in here I want. So here's a torus. So I can do this on a torus, I can do it on a terrain piece that I've done, I can do it, you know, okay, of course, anything. So let's go back to the grid. I also have in here, let's see, if I unhide this paint thing, let's see, is that working? I might have deleted something out of there. But you can use the paint thing to actually paint in there. And you can, I have this set up so that if I unhide this mountain sop, so I have this mountain sop right here, I can actually animate this stuff. And what it'll do is you can change its value so that it, like, all the points actually stay relative to wherever the geo is moving, or you can change it so they just flop around all over the place, where usually you're wanting to make it so it's relative to where the geo's sitting, but it depends. But so I'm doing that. If you want to visualize how that's moving, I can go ahead and kind of show the, well, actually I need to show the grid after the mountain sop, now that I think about it. So that would be like here. You can see what it's doing. So you can see how it's following along with everything. So you can imagine making waves or something like that, or you got water floating. You got these things floating on water. Like, even, I'm sure I can plug the water into here. I haven't tried that, but I'm sure I can plug the water into here, and then I can just have things like floating on top of the water. Now, so what's really cool too is that, so let's go ahead and switch this to this. So now I've got this animated too, so I can do the same thing here, you know. You can imagine like you're making some kind of cellular stuff or medical illustration or something like that. This would be very, very useful. But I'm going to go ahead and change this to volume instead of using just the surface. So right now it's just by surface. So I'm going to go ahead and say volume. And then here, of course, we got the same kind of thing. Now this one is switching all over. I think, let me turn this off so you can see this better. And actually I'm going to turn this just to points so you can kind of get an idea. So right now it's just setting points in a grid within here, and then all the properties that I would want to change, like for the points, I can go ahead and just mess around within here, the point separations, the like jitter seed, and then you can jitter them around, and they're actually filling this volume. Now this is where it gets super cool. I can change this to actual, this is in grid, so it's like in a pattern per se. So if I turn this off, if I turn the jitter off, it'll look like a pattern. And let me see this better if I turn that off. Okay, so you can see that pattern. And then I can go ahead and go grid, or not grid, I was already doing grid. This is just two different kinds of grid. Go to volume. And what volume will do is actually it gets more dense as it gets towards the center. So this is really cool. So like if I want to, oh, I forgot that doesn't work with volume. Oh, duh. Can't see it because I'm on this. Okay. So if I want to go ahead and mess around, these things still work. Everything still works. There we go. Those two work. I think some of them are in relation to how much max and min I have on there. Of course, all the color stuff still works. It's all tied in. That's all the same. And then let's see here. So size. We can, and I have a noise in here too, so I can go ahead and I can change these things by noise, and you can animate the noise going through here. So there's all kinds of, I mean, it's just really, really robust and powerful. It took me a long time to get all this stuff set up. It was quite a project. But you can just, basically you save this out as like a tool. So I can go here and, oops, get out of there. Oh, I did that. Let's see, go here and just say, you know, save node type, and then you can lock it. You can say match current definition, it locks it. And so now as long as it's locked, nobody can mess with it. And I actually have it set up here in my viewport. So like lesson 2, multi-scatter, I can pull another one of these out, And so that's got everything within inside of it. Now that I locked it, it's all grayed out. You shouldn't be able to select anything. So until you unlock it. Anyway, so that's the tool. It's super robust. I can add in my own geometry and change different geometry types and stuff like that. Where is this? Let's go. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong one here. Let's go back to this guy. So if I go to Geo, you can see the three. These are the three geometry types that I have in there. I have like the platonic, a sphere, and a tube. And so if I wanted to, you can come in here. You can add more. Let's go ahead and just add another one. So let's go plus. There you get another one. You see some of them disappeared because the randomness now is changing. And then I can come in here and say, okay, I have a box in here that I called, well, here's instance, so accept. Did that do it? Oh, I might have that turned off. This one should work. There we go. So now there's now 4 items, and you can just keep adding. So like, let's say I've got 10 trees or something that I want to add into here and have them populate. So it's like, I'm sure you can imagine, it's very powerful. This was like 11 minutes. Sorry it took so long. Thanks for watching, Professor Corey. Bye.